Hello and welcome back everyone to the ultimate walkthrough for Bloodborne. Today we're going to be doing the Nightmare of Mensis and also defeating the boss Micolash. So we're going to go ahead and visit this tombstone here and make sure that we head to the Nightmare of Mensis. Okay, so this is where we finished last episode, and if you'll remember, there's an enemy up there that has a sight line on you when you're out in the open. It'll do damage to you. If you're exposed long enough, it'll start to drain your health, but you'll also build up frenzy. Now, the buildup of frenzy is rather slow here, so it's not too dangerous. As long as you keep on the move, you shouldn't have many problems at all. But what we want to do is take advantage of the cover system here. So first, to start things off, we're going to head over to the right side. There is a couple elevator switches down there that we'll be able to access later. They're not going to do us any good right now, but there is a lamp post there and a couple enemies. So we're going to take them out before we progress anywhere else. So let's use this right side here and we'll bend around. Going to take cover here. This is a good vantage point for us to see that enemy right there. And there's another one just like it behind. Now, one thing you need to know about those enemies is when you kill them, two infected little parasites will pop out. So the fight isn't over after you kill them. You want to fight them one at a time if you can. So I'm going to move over here. And this one's coming at us. So we're going to charge up 2 times. And we should get the kill. You see those guys pop out. They are really annoying because they lay on the ground, so they're tough to hit. As I miss every swing. Okay, so you'll hear the audible cue when you're in danger, so that just means get back into cover. One of the good things about that is the enemies can actually take damage as well from that. So if you draw them out into the open while you're in cover, they might lose a little bit of health before they get to you. Alright, so that wasn't too bad. What we're going to do now is circle this side. Let's see here. We're not going to draw him out, actually. We're just going to go ahead and make a run. I don't want you to stop. Only stop at this one to make sure that you're not draining health. And then continue on. Once we get past these guys, we're not in any danger from the sightline damage. So we'll go ahead and light the lantern. And then once they disengage, we'll turn our focus to them. So we see one of them still looking at us. And if they never disengage, what you can do is go ahead and visit the Hunter's Dream, just to make sure that everything resets. But I don't want to do that because we've killed one of the enemies on the other side. So this guy does not want to disengage, so he'll actually prevent us from being able to sneak up and get a R2 on that enemy. So it's worth it for us to visit the Hunter's Dream and return. Alright, once we're here, we're just going to go to Murgo's Loft. That's the last lamp that we lit up. Perfect. And now we see that we don't have that enemy facing us anymore. So we can work our way. Oh, they turned. Kind of unlucky. So what we want to do is charge this one up. And we're going to knock him over the edge, probably. Okay, once you've killed them, back up a little bit. Make sure that they're not chucking rocks at you. Problem with this is you're going to eventually become exposed. So one thing that I would suggest is maybe hitting them with the pebble. But if you can draw one out, that's good. See that damage they're taking? That is purely from... God, they're so slow. That was purely from the vision. Oops, hit the wrong button there. Wanted to shorten the axe. Okay. We'll go deal with this guy solo. If you just get behind them, they're no trouble at all. Yeah. He actually got killed by the very tiny damage of health going away from that sight line. Okay, so this is a new rune that we picked up. It's going to allow us to, it's basically like a farming item. More items from fallen enemies. So yeah. We'll also pick up another rune, like we could see this one, the moon here. We're going to pick up another one of those, but a better one. This is kind of weird because I thought we picked up the enhanced eye. But maybe that's at another juncture. Interesting. Okay. Alright, so now what we're going to do is work our way back. Alright, we're not out of sight line there, unfortunately. That was poorly done by me. But it's a good example of what you can expect if you are not doing things properly. For some reason, I thought the building was over there, but that's the mountain. So yeah, if you ever want to look up and orient yourself with the building, you can definitely take a look. It's hard to miss the bright orange light. Alright, so what I want to do now is get this one. This is the same one we killed last time. Oh, the one behind it's coming. So you're hearing it take damage. That's not on us. God, it's so obnoxious. I kind of wish we couldn't hear when the enemy was being watched, because it's a little bit confusing. Alright, I don't want to fight this guy out in the open. I could throw a pebble at him, if it'll let me target. Hello. Hello. Why is he so passive all of a sudden? Alright. Oh, that's... I didn't want that, but worked out. Dead? Alright. If you're not sure if they're dead or not, you can go ahead and down press the target lock and it'll help you locate them. Let's go ahead and snag this item. So again, you can kind of figure out where the building is. All we're going to do here is sprint forward. Don't want to fight this guy on the bridge. So I'm going to keep moving forward. And I'm going to take out this guy first. Now we'll deal with these little bastards. We got another one. No, it's dead. Okay. So when you're here, you're in no danger of these three guys. I'd like to take this one out first, and then you see the dude that's squatting down. He's no threat to us right now. This guy he's got his back to us, but if you see that rock formation right above him, we're going to run kind of close to that and around, and he can't hit us because of that. So the one that's furthest away is actually our target. Now, you don't have to do what I just did and fight those two together. It's a little bit dangerous. You can isolate them once you cross the bridge and fight that guy. You won't be in the sight line of the watch. I don't know what to call that enemy. The guy who watches you, and the guy who chucks rocks here. You're safe to fight that dude alone down there. I just wanted to come up here and kill them both. All right. So now that I've got those loots, there's an item down here I could snag real quick. Okay. So we're just going to run right past everybody and fight the dude at the backside. Again, if we get behind them, it should be a really easy kill for us. Okay. Oh, he's still alive. Unlucky. So now we'll just drag this guy over here a little bit. Now, they can move fast when they want to, but usually they're really slow. So it's good to bait out an attack so you can land that power up. Alright. Could grab this item over here so I don't forget. And now we'll go take out the last one. Again, very easy when they're alone. He's kind of hard to get behind, so I let him come out a little bit. Yeah. And grab his loot. Sweet. So as you can see, we're getting chunks fairly regularly now. You should be able to continually upgrade your secondary weapons and basically anything that you tend to favor. So there's different ways you can approach this fight here, but it's rather simple. You can cheese this pretty easily. I'm just going to sprint right in and then turn around. Once the big guy drops, that's all we want. So we're going to run all the way out. And only the little guys can even fit through there, but they usually get caught behind this door. So we can just scoop them up real easy. So we'll drag this one in. Clean up the loot. There may be a couple more tiny ones, but they haven't aggroed us. Yeah, you can see there's a couple hanging. Now this guy can hurt you from there, so you need to be careful. I find the best way to attack is to run in and use an R1, because that'll do a straight attack, and then you can bounce out. So I'll show you what I mean. So that, if you just repeat that over and over, you basically run no risk. I would say don't do a charge up attack because you might not hit. But he does pretty heavy damage, so you gotta be careful. I say he, but it's probably a mama spider. So obviously you can control that combat pretty easy. There's 2 spiders hanging up there, and I believe there's another one back around here. All I do is run under this. They'll drop down, but they drop on the bridge. You can hear them, and they're going to cycle around these stairs here. So what we can do is use that to our advantage. Easy. Now, if you really want to be extra safe about it, you can run out of that big doorway just like we started the fight and deal with them that way. Of course, it's up to you, but that's pretty much a foolproof way to do it. Poke your head out here and grab this. This will give you an idea of what you're looking for. We're going to head out that bridge over there in a second. There's really nothing on this, but we're going to use that to get down. So grab the knowledge. And you should not take any damage by dropping down here. I'm going to grab this item. And what you're seeing in front of you is actually a hunter. So this is probably one of the tougher encounters of the zone. But they are very aggressive. Disregard the thing behind it. It's nothing hostile. You don't need to worry about that. So that's where that outcropping was, where we could see this bridge a second ago. So this guy is very aggressive, and we're going to use that against them. We're going to allow them to run towards us. We'll try to backstep to create a little bit of distance and get up a couple R2 charges to kill them. Okay? So I like to stand to the right a little bit, target them. See how they have to close the distance? You can make that fight just that easy. I found that if you try to parry them and stay close enough to them, it becomes a highly dangerous fight. The weapon that they hold, not the sword, but the gun mechanic, can mow you down almost instantaneously. You don't want to be in range of that, so you could try to cycle to the side. But like I said, I just showed you what I've found to be the easiest way, and it's super simple tactic, especially with our weapon. Okay, so there's no threat in this area that we're at right now. There's an item over here on the left side, so we're gonna make sure to grab that. It's a bright chest. For some reason the chest is like super washed out. I don't know why they make the graphic look like that instead of just giving it some kind of like sparkly aura or something like most loot items have. Now, you can stand around these guys and they're never going to fight you, but it's kind of deceiving. I'm going to go ahead and tell you to just kill them on sight, because occasionally when you get in fights, they can become hostile, and they're really good at disrupting your attacks. So whenever you see these little bastards, just kill them. Especially in the next room. So here we go. Get this guy out. And we're going to snag this item here. And we've got access to the elevator now, which is very convenient. We have quite a bit of blood echoes, so we'll just go ahead and refresh. Another thing that's good about this area is that when we come back up, we won't have to backtrack at all. So it's a perfect opportunity for us to go back to the dream. Alright, so now that we're here, we're just going to talk to the doll.
Very well, let me
Channel some echoes. Focusing on getting strength to 40 at this point.
Farewell, good hunter.
Excellent. Alright. Again, return to the tombstone. And Murgo's loft. Okay. Eventually, we're going to unlock this contraption that's going to lower a cage that brings us all the way to the top. That's going to be very useful. But for now, this is the one that we're using. You see it pushing me to the side like that? That's kind of weird. I don't think I've ever noticed that before. Of course, these guys are going to be respawned, so just go ahead and kill them. That was weird. He was stronger than last time. We killed him with one charge up before. Alright, so there should be another one. He's probably wandering around the stairs here. Yeah. Let's take him out. I guess we hit him from behind last time. That's probably why. Alright, so again, these guys are not going to be hostile, but kill them. No mercy. You can see what they do. They just lunge forward and try to push you. And while it doesn't do a lot of damage, when you're in the area of a threatening enemy, it is very efficient. Especially if you're trying to charge up. You got like a slow moving attack. Okay. So instead of going down the stairs, we're going to go around here. There's an item waiting for us. We're going to snag that. And it gives us a little bit of a vantage point. Check out what we got for us below. So that guy right there is a bigger version of those dudes. I guess he's kind of like the boss. So he has a big melee weapon and a whip, a chain whip. So we need to be cautious of that because even though he's somewhat slow with the melee weapon, the whip has pretty good range and they're pretty decent with it. So what we want to do with that enemy is get them by themselves. The biggest reason you wanted to kill those kind of docile enemies or minions up top is because once that guy starts fighting us, the ones that were close to here run down the stairs and join in the fight. So they make that a team fight instead of a solo encounter, which is what we want. I fight this guy like I do most big enemies. We try to get them to swing and then counter attack. Whoops. Oh, wow. My attack went right through him. So yeah, the whip kind of catches me off guard sometimes because I expect them to use their heavy weapon first. But yeah, he swatted me with that. Alright, we'll worry about the items in a second. What we want to do is get a little bit of vision here. So there's cages with these books in them, and these are really helpful because you can hide behind them from any kind of ranged attack. Now over there, straight ahead, there are some ranged enemies. They hold some crossbows, so we want to be aware of that while we approach. And then behind this pillar here is one of the more aggressive little dudes. So if we can get some sight on them, there they are. So we're just going to kind of pop out here and get them to come towards us. There we go. So now our objective is to get the big boy to come towards us. So I'll go ahead and show you the archers. We don't want to approach them from here. So you see one there. And then there's another one. And the one behind this. So we can kill the one behind this real quick. Alright, let's try the L2. There we go. Always use cover if you can. Now we've got a much easier situation. So all of this area right here is safe for us to fight. Now, of course, you got to be aware this is all a death trap if you fall, which is another reason why you want to take care of enemies that will do those kind of pushing and shoving attacks, because they're very difficult to deal with when you're having to evade ranged attacks and this big melee. So we're going to move forward ever so slowly to get their attention. They're going to come at us. I would say do not target lock this person unless you're already behind them and they're not moving. Oh, unlucky. You don't want to get your camera all wonky and get knocked in or fall off the side. So that's why I meant don't target lock. Basically, if you're planning on dodging. Alright, so we dealt with that guy. Now all we need to do is use these cages as shelter. So you can see here, we got this one right behind here. Take advantage of our range. Oh, I didn't think he had a sight line on me there. Oh, don't run away. It's a pretty smart guy. Alright, you can see if we do an L2 attack, it takes our weapon from the other side of our body. So that's why I decided to do that there. Again, use the cover. Now it's just solo, so we can close the distance and deal with that guy however we like. Sweet. So I'm just going to circle around one moment, make sure we killed everything. Don't want to deal with anybody pushing us off the side. Alright, so now it's safe for us to grab this item without any worries. And the reality is it was safe before, but I want to teach you guys a good habit of loot last if you can. Loot last if you can. Let's see here, grab this. Perfecto. Alright, so now we can use the elevator. Okay. If you look down below, you'll see where we just were. So we're going to have some carrion crows. I don't know. They're more disgusting now because they're kind of like half dog. But they're still the same. Like, they don't fight any differently. So, approach it like you always would. We've got a couple over there. These ones are also sitting with, like, they're eating a dog, but they're not. Like, the dog is still alive, so you gotta be careful. Aw, that sneaky bastard. I thought he was dead already. Alright, so they're all goners. The thing that you can hear is probably this carrion crow in that cage. So all we're going to do is step up here. Now, to kill it, I'm going to suggest putting your weapon in the closed form. Alright, let's deal with these guys first. Looks like they want some action. Come on down. Come on, buddy. That one's trying to wiggle its way. Maybe it'll be more successful now. Oh, oh, come on. You can do it. Yeah, let's get its friend. There it is. Oh, I can't believe we weren't in range. Okay. We can hear some dogs below us, but first we're going to deal with this one. So, once your axe is in its normal position, I just want you to run forward. Oof. Did not work. Unlucky. That's weird. It's never blocked me from just running off of that. So, I guess we'll just jump. And that doesn't work either. Okay. One way that should definitely work is doing a running attack. Yep. God. This is ridiculous. There we go. Alright. So anyways, you don't run into like a risk. It's not like you're going to fall off of this thing. You don't travel that far. I know it's kind of scary when you don't land in the cage. It does give you that oh shit feeling. But yeah, you're not going to fall to your death. Don't worry. So we'll go ahead and kill these doggies. If you pay attention, they've got the crow heads. So kind of crazy. We got this one over here. Okay. Couldn't tell if my second L2 hit it or not. But it did. Now if you want to be extra careful, you can go ahead and hit the elevator switch before you fight those guys. So by stepping on this, you've activated the contraption, and now we'll be able to pull the switch down below. I was just pretty sure I wasn't going to die to those things, so I didn't feel like wasting that time. So once we're down here, I'm going to go ahead and visit the Hunter's Dream, because this is the last thing we're going to do before we fight Micolash. Alright. Let's channel and get some strength.
Farewell.
Sweet. Murgo's Loft. Alright. And now we're going to take this cage back up to the top. Now, this boss fight that we're about to get into is very unique in the fact that the only real difficulty is chasing the boss down. It's kind of a confusing area, and it's not a zone that I've necessarily mastered by any means, but I still want to deal with it in the same fashion that I normally do. I don't know if there's like an exact pattern that the boss sticks to, but it seems to react in similar ways whenever I chase it, meaning it'll go eventually to where you want it to go to fight it, and we'll kind of play through that process. But as far as the boss fight goes itself, when we actually get the boss cornered, they're very easy. The first phase represents the first 50% of their health pool, and they really only do one attack, which is a very telegraphed ranged kind of power whip with a tentacle. And if you've got them target locked, you can avoid that almost exclusively just by strafing. But I'll still jump to the side just to keep certain that I don't get hit by it. But because that's so widely telegraphed and slow, we can dodge that easily and just fight him exclusively with charged up R2s for the first phase. The second phase occurs after you do some more exploration through the zone and try to chase him down again. Once we get them cornered in the room that we want them to fight in, they'll basically add 2 more attacks, at least from what I've seen. They'll do the attack from the original phase, and then they'll do kind of like an AoE ranged explosion. They'll shoot some projectiles, but you can dodge those if you dodge right before the burst happens. And also they'll do kind of like a melee SWAT lunge, and that is really irrelevant besides the fact that it can stagger. So the damage that this boss deals is very minimal. The one thing that you want to take care of are these puppets. And the puppets aren't any danger to you while you're navigating the zone. You just want to keep moving. Don't take any damage from them in that process. But when you actually corner the boss in a room, specifically the first encounter, go ahead and deal with those as quickly as you can. Don't focus the boss, but if the boss is in the way of the skeletons or the puppets, just go ahead and hit them all together. I mean, that's why we have this axe, so we can deal damage to multiple enemies. Alright, so again, like I said, there may be a pattern to the way the boss moves, but I'm not certain. We're just going to try to do things as best we can and see if we can figure out how he moves while we're doing this. So these guys will animate once we go through, so I'm just going to start running, and we'll get this cutscene.
Ah, cause. Or some say cosm. Do you hear our prayers? No, we should not abandon the dream. No one can catch us. No one can stop us now.
Okay. So we're just going to run to the end here. And we're not going to try to loot anything. Like I said, wait till combat is over. We'll just chase this guy. We saw him run to the right. He makes another right. Okay. So one thing you can do there is right when he runs down, I like to turn around and go this way. Let's see if we can trap him here. Nope, I kind of screwed that up. That's okay. I'll show you what's going on. So he basically just runs around in a circle. So what we want him to do is when he runs to the right... Oh, these skeletons actually hurt. When he runs to the right here, we're going to turn around. This will give you a good idea of how things are moving. So once he's this way, we're going to run him into this room. And that's how we trap him. But that skeleton or whatever is screwing things up. Let's go ahead and deal with this guy. Alright, now he's in the room. This is good for us. I'm going to start with an R2 so I can deal with the skeleton. There's his attack that I was worried about. So you can hear it chart, like it basically stagger. Alright, once we deal with that one. Again, the focus is on the skeleton. I don't know how it missed. And now you can see how easy this is. Just sidestep. He's only going to do this. I'm not attacking him just to show you what he does. But the skeletons will reanimate. So we can absolutely destroy this guy. At half health, he just disappears. And he starts the run again.
Oh, majestic! A hunter is a hunter, even in a dream. But
so what we're going to do is
not
take the
too
first right.
fast.
I can take time to show you guys this. So when you come out of the room where you fight the boss, you're going to take your first right, go up the stairs, and it's going to take you to the spiral staircase area. So we don't need to fight anything here, but there's a downstairs and an upstairs. We're going to go up and stay away from these guys. Once you clear that, we're going to circle around. You can see him up ahead, and we're just going to chase. Again, we want to follow him until he jumps through that. Then we're going to run over here. No loot, don't worry. It's going to be there later. You can see down here. This is eventually where we're going to trap the boss, but now he's at the end of this. So we'll chase him into here. I don't really want to try to hit him until we get him in the room. So when he jumps down there, we don't need to chase him in here, but when we do, he's going to drop a door on us. Sorry, let me in here. Yeah, you can see the door now, it's locked. So I just wanted to show you what's occurring there. Like I said, the real danger is just these puppets if you get trapped with them. So once we get out of here, we're just going to try to locate him. Okay. He should be down here, I believe. Yep. So now we're doing the boss fight. So that's the one that I said you could dodge if you time it right before the explosion. So you can see the push attack and the same tentacle attack. So everything is pretty easy. If you get them in a corner, it's way better for you. I don't like to use the charge up attack here though, unless I've got them right there. I'm just showing you guys how the fight is playing out. I'm not going to try to kill him instantly. As you can see, it's pretty... The combat itself is pretty easy. The real challenge is just trying to locate him. And if you don't rush it, and you don't panic, and when you're trying to run through that maze, you can actually get it figured out pretty well. So that's the bridge we crossed earlier, and now it's rising up to fill that void. That's going to lead us to the lamp that we're going to use. Now you can still get back to where that bridge was down below and cross. There's like a little side hallway that you can use. So just because the bridge has been raised doesn't mean that you can't cross that area still. Essentially, it was a pointless bridge being down there in the first place. Okay. We're not going to have any puppets to deal with, but we will have some of the regular enemies that we've been fighting in this zone. So make sure that you heal up at this time. And what we're going to do is make sure to clear out all the loot. So there's going to be a lot of loot that we ran by. So first off, we're just going to go down here. We won't have any enemies in here, but we're going to get the all-important key. So make sure to grab this. That's the most important thing that you want to pick up. And then everything else is just loot, quality of life items. So that's behind us. So now we're going to go up. And once you actually fight the boss and start this looting process, you really get to learn how this zone is laid out, and it's not nearly as confusing. The thing that's confusing about it is the fog and the stairways, because in the first zone, they have parallel stairways. It's just a square that represents like the same pathway over and over again. So you're not like repeating it. It's not like a Zelda's Lost Forest situation. It is a static area. But in the second zone, it's a little bit different because these stairs go up and the stairs over there go down. So it's a little bit different. So here, like you can see, this takes us to the squared room. And we grab this Frenzied Cold Blood. And then if we continue up here, this is going to allow us to get to the area across the bridge. So first we're going to grab the item here, the chunk, and this is the room that we'll use twice. So basically you're going to use this space twice to trap the boss. The first time you trap him in there, he's going to run away, or basically we drop down there and we use that to make him run away. The second time you drop down there, that's when you'll actually start the fight. I would discourage you from trying like a plunging attack because it's never going to land. I mean, it might, but it's not often. And you'll be more exposed than the boss will be. So don't mess around with that. Now let's go back down and we're going to get to the spiral staircase area. So remember, we ran away from the enemies here. So this time we're going to fight them. So if you want to approach slowly, you can land a charge up. Now the one with the bow is to the left, and then there's one guy with a flail. So that's what you're dealing with here. Can't believe that didn't land a, whoa. Thought I had my axe extended for a second. So you can see the flail in their hand. They're a little bit stronger than the ones that don't have weapons. It's funny, this guy just turned around. Like, out of sight, out of mind. Dirty, damp blood gem. So yeah, lots of blood vials there. Great pickup for us. This is where... Let's see, we'll sneak around here real quick. This is where we entered the spiral staircase, if you remember. So we'll go ahead and clear this out. And like I said, these staircases are basically just parallel to one another. So that's why it looks a little bit confusing. But if you just understand that it's basically a grid representing the same exact pathway, then you can navigate through this relatively easy. And that's why the boss essentially just runs you in circles. So this is where the bridge was, and these are the little puppets that we had at the start of the fight. Oh my god. They actually do a lot of damage, so I don't want to clown around with these guys. Let me just take them out. Okay. So this is how you would get back if you, for whatever reason, wanted to get to the beginning of the zone where we first entered this building for the boss fight. So yeah, that's where the bridge was. Now you can see the bridge way up top. All good. Just wanted to explain that to you guys. Alright, so again, let me go over how this boss fight should start. When you run in here and you start chasing the boss up the stairs, you're eventually going to get them to turn right. So we get them up here, they run forward, we get them up here. They're going to run to the right side here. That's when you run back down. Because when you get them in that middle tier, the only way you get them to run into that room is by approaching from this side. And that's when they turn and run straight into the room. Now, we got a little bit unlucky the first time because I chased him down here, which was my mistake. And then I wanted to show you how to do it properly. And then this puppet dude was just like standing in the doorway. So it was a little bit of an unlucky situation. But it kind of works out because it helps explain how the process there works. And it's easy to figure out how the cycle moves. So again, when you enter in this doorway here, you're just going to end up chasing the boss essentially in a circle. You go up the stairs twice. You're going to turn right. And when the boss goes down the stair, that's when you turn back and circle around and then trap the boss in that middle room. Okay? Once you fight and get the boss from half health, you're going to come up the stairs here, go around the spiral staircase upwards, and deal with the second phase. So there is loot for us down here. We've got this nightmare creature. We'll deal with him. Don't chase them beyond this halfway point. If you get to where this loot is, you're going to see a couple enemies here with flail. So if the nightmare creature gets beyond here, just go ahead and let him go. Unless you're feeling confident and you're at full health. Because they're trying to lead you into this grouping. Now both these guys have flails. So you can do like a sweeping attack. R2 is the best one because it comes from the left side of your character. And you won't have to deal with this wall. So we pick up 3 sedatives, which again are good for dealing with frenzy. Now we're going to have 2 more enemies. We should have a big boy and an archer if I remember correctly. So let's deal with them. Being a little extra cautious. Okay. So the archer sees us, but we just want to draw out the big guy. Again, R2 is good here because we can't use an L2 against the wall. So we'll get a little bit of attention here. These guys are really slow. After they miss their attack, they're super easy to deal with, so just take that. Take what they give you. After I hit that guy twice, he's usually going to charge in at you if you're close enough, so I'll take 2 swings and bounce away. Here's the moon rune that we were talking about earlier. This is going to give you more blood echoes per kill. So you can see here, more echoes from slain enemies. Nice. Alrighty. So now we're going to run all the way up. We have grabbed all the loot that we can from this area. And that is why we wanted to loot after the fight, so that we can do that peacefully without risking anything, especially in between the first and second phase of the boss fight. I don't see any reason to do that exploration or trying to loot. You just risk dying for no reason at all. Especially, you won't have to deal with any puppets after you kill the boss, so approach it like that and you'll be much better off. For some reason, they still have the puppets alive at the entrance. I don't know why those don't die. I think that's just an oversight. So go ahead and ignite the lamp and go back to the dream.
Very well.
Perfect. And we'll start working on vitality and endurance as well.
Farewell, good hunter.
Alright everybody, this is going to be the end of this episode. The second half of Mensis will come next, where we fight the wet nurse. So make sure to stay tuned for that. Also, if you want to join us on Discord or check out any of our live streams on Twitch, you can see the information in the description below. Hope to catch you guys there, and we'll talk to you later. Peace.